So really what we want to do is to explain in the healthcare setting, so maybe in GPs or hospitals or in outpatient appointments that you have, it is vital that you book a registered interpreter. That's your right. Some deaf people are not sure, do I have a right for an interpreter in the healthcare setting? Not sure whether they're responsible for booking it or whether the GPs in the healthcare setting is responsible. So that's what we're going to try and clarify today and give you some more introduction about the booking process and making sure that you do have an interpreter present at any healthcare appointment. So, talking about your rights, so having interpreters in the GP, we're referring to the law, the DDA, the Disability Discrimination Act, which then became the Equality Act in 2010. This Act says you have a right to access health. So you have a right to your medical information. If you want to have consultation with the GP, or if you're going on to have a surgery, it's absolutely critical that you have an interpreter present. So that's part of the campaign, has come about through some research. A lady named Phoebe, she's a fully qualified interpreter herself. She identified that, more and more people were saying, well, I've requested an interpreter, but an interpreter wasn't booked, or I've requested an interpreter, but they weren't qualified. Hospitals are booking interpreters, but they don't know about the appropriate interpreters and therefore booking unqualified. So she did some research. She researched 305 BSL users and found that half of these had not had interpreters provided to them. So this is obviously high risk. And then half of them had interpreters provided, but a poor interpreter. But sometimes there was uncertainty as to what poor interpretation meant. So just to clarify the research, one thing that really came out of the research, when it said about poor interpreters, it was one thing to know that interpreters hadn't been booked or turned up. 60% said, that deaf people, after being ill or having had bad experiences with interpreters, sort of put up with their illness because they didn't believe that an interpreter would ever be booked for them. So it's absolutely important to make sure that GPs and healthcare centres are booking interpreters for you. It's all about reducing your health risks, reducing potential of your health deteriorating because you've not had access to interpreters. And it's also about campaigning and making hospitals and healthcare settings more aware of your rights too. So, are you responsible for booking an interpreter? No. The NHS is responsible for booking interpreters. But the NHS, when they book an interpreter, they should make sure they book registered interpreters. Interpreters who are registered with the NRCPD. I will explain this a little bit later. Some of the NHS will say, oh, a deaf person can bring along your interpreter. You can pay for the interpreter. That's absolutely incorrect. They are to pay for the interpreter. We need to sort of pass this information on to you so you're able to relay that to any of the healthcare settings should they ask you these questions, and you can check with them and say, well, is that interpreter registered with the NRCPD or not?